What about the Washington Wizards?
That's terrible, man. That's that Dwight Howard disease.
Terrible, Kenny.
Terrible.
Yeah, but Rose Bowl, though, is lit. So I heard.
Yeah, right.
So I've heard.
Who'd you hear that from?
No, I heard it from Stephen A. That's what Stephen A.
Speaking of, Stephen A. went on First Take and just totally crushed the Washington Wizards. Something that we actually agree on.
This is why people call him a punk-ass reporter.
Go for it.
Disgrace that has taken place in the nation's capital. Scott Brooks.
Say that again.
Gotta go. Gotta go. And listen, Scott Brooks, let me be very clear. I've known Scott Brooks, like him. I'm not trying to say he can't coach. He is not the right man for this job. This job requires a heavy hammer. Scott Brooks is one of the nicest guys you could ever meet. The problem with that is that unfortunately you don't like confrontation. And with the Wizards, you need confrontation. John Wall here signed a 4-year Supermax deal for $169.3 million. Next season, contract, it hasn't even kicked in yet. He's getting paid $37.8 next year, $40.8 the year after, $43.8 million the year after, and then has a player option. I'm not questioning John Wall's abilities. I'm questioning his level of production. They have no leadership. They have no chemistry. They don't even look like they want to play together. Don't get me started with hanging out together, because damn sure if I've seen it, okay? And I'm in the nation's capital enough. Trust me.
I hate when people end with "trust me." It's such a Trumpito way of going about your rhetoric. Real quick, before I show what Zach Lowe had to say, the NBA godfather on the Washington Wizards, I had a funny thought that
it better be funny. I better laugh.
I feel like Stephen A. Could you imagine him never turning it off? That he even yells at himself in the mirror for how he brushes his teeth.
Here's the thing. Here's
and could you imagine if he were sleeping and he still yells at himself in hot takes as he's going through his sleep cycle?
That's the funny thing.
I think it's possible.
No, that's the funny thing. You know, I've been around Stephen A. He's very soft-spoken. I 100% tell you that. He's very soft-spoken in private. Seriously, like you have to lean in to hear what he's trying to say.
And that's exactly why he took Rajon Rondo calling him a little bitch, and he didn't say anything about it. Because he's a soft-spoken guy.
It's a character. I mean, he's when you find a character.
It is a character.
I mean, when it works and it makes you a lot of money, I mean, it's no different than wrestling. He's the Rock.
All right, let's get
no, that's disrespect to the Rock. Rock's really good.
All right,
well, they call the heel.
The heel. He's a heel, yeah.
Totally, he's Buddy Heel. They have few trade assets beyond the real deal Bradley Beal, who has surpassed the slower, crankier, indifferent version of Wall. Wow. What a great way to put it. A decade of win-now moves, all justified, almost innocent, has left the Wizards cornered. The Wizards sacrificed, this is important, the number 18 pick in the Gortat deal, but given the typical return on middling picks, that is an acceptable cost for 3+ seasons of When Gortat's presence became untenable, the Wizards spun him for Austin Rivers on expiring contract, no harm. That the pick they dealt for Gortat could have been really good players. Gary Harris, Clint Capella, or Nikola Jokic. Man, would they be so different. Their next annual win, I love how he's putting annual, win now move. Andrew Nicholson. Remember Andrew Nicholson to rent Bojan Bogdanovic? That hurt. The last 10 picks of that draft, Jared Allen, who actually looks pretty good, OG Anunoby, Kyle Kuzma, Josh Hart, Derek White. 09 draft, the Wizards traded the number 5 pick, Ricky Rubio, also potentially Stephen Curry, for Mike Millerand, Randy Foye, for the Gilbert Arenas, Caron Butler, Anton Jameson core. Didn't really end well. Ernie Grunfeld needs to go. I'm done with this. And I'm mad for Wizards fans. I know people from the DC area. Ernie Grunfeld has been that sort of guy who you know when you pick him up in pickup basketball that he's gonna contribute like 2 points, but they're gonna be at the most irrelevant times of the game, like in the beginning. I hope the Wizards turn it around.
Take a deep breath, Jay.
Because man, this is embarrassing basketball.
What you gotta get off your chest?
I'm looking at the Wizards roster. I'm looking for where
that Ernie Grunfeld put together.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where I like Kelly Oubre.
No,
sorry.
He's okay.
I'm saying like in a certain situation, he's shined before when it showed. I'm trying to see what they can do. Because this is the thing, with Stephen A's rant he went on, which is Rob was saying when it happened, this is put on. And it's fine, it's entertaining. He's an entertainer and / a reporter, journalist at the same time. So as he was going through it, I mean, the part where I bristled, I was like, stop talking about, get your hands out of, not hands, but get your mouth out of other folks' pockets. That's the only thing. Like, I feel good that his agent got him this money that he doesn't deserve.
Yeah, that part, I mean, you could talk about on the play, but nobody forced them to give him a super max. Nobody put a gun to their head and said, hey, you pay John Wall, what is it, like $48 million in the last year of the deal. I don't like when they do that. To me, that's the same thing like with the Le'Veon Bell. It's like,
absolutely.
Look, that's money. Like, you want to talk about him on the court, you want to talk about, you know, that the contracts hamstring the team, that's fine. Don't blame the player for that, though. And now the stuff about him going out and hanging out and going to the club and stuff, that stuff only comes up when you're losing.
Yep.
Because they all go to the club afterwards. D Rose was out in LA right after the loss. LeBron goes to Diddy's, you know, big birthday bash. I mean, that's only when you're losing bad. When you're losing, you basically, the media and fans want you to stay at home and not be happy.
Totally, they want your life to suck.
And everything.
And return your game check.
Right, I mean, like, they practice for what, two hours a day? And they got hundreds of millions of dollars in the, I mean, who's gonna stay at home? If you had hundreds of millions of dollars and you work 2 hours a day, were you gonna stay at home? I mean, I'm talking to the fans. Any fan, you had $20 million in the bank. You work 2 hours a day at whatever you did. And you're out of your job at noon. You live in a nice place, DC, LA, Miami. You telling me because a couple of people are upset with the way that you do your job, you're just gonna sit at home and watch Oprah? Does Oprah still come on? I don't know if Oprah comes on, but you know what I'm trying to say. No fan would do that.
Ellen?
I like Ellen. She dances. Ellen always dances.
And that's a great way to end it.
I like that.
Let us know your thoughts on the Wizards.
I had to get
YouTube.com.
I'm sorry.
/TYT Sports.
It bothers me.
If you made it to the end of this video, mazel tov. If you want to see more, hit the bell and hit subscribe. Why don't you?